Why Subway is Dying. It's 1985, and a teenager named Fred DeLuca, now known as the person who established Subway at the age of 17, with no prior experience in making sub sandwiches, starts his own restaurant, which after significant setbacks, manages to surpass even McDonald's and emerge as the leading global fast food franchise. This is a story of both challenges and achievements, a journey marked by legal battles and controversy, an account of Subway's historical path. Fred DeLuca has always had inspirations of becoming a doctor. However, coming from a background of modest Italian-American immigrant family, a significant hurdle stands in his way. Nonetheless, a turning point comes when Fred, along with his parents, receive an invitation to a barbecue hosted by a family friend, Peter Burke, a nuclear physicist. Fred goes there, and after his arrival, the one thing he realizes after seeing the size of Peter's residence is that the man is quite well off. With this observation in mind, Fred feels compelled to approach Peter and inquire about how to collect sufficient funds for college. Surprisingly, Peter suggests that Fred should establish a submarine sandwich shop. He advises him to set up a small shop, build a counter, and get various fillings and bread. Accordingly, he proposes a partnership, wherein Fred would handle the day-to-day store operations, and in return, Peter would extend a $1,000 loan to facilitate the venture's opening. Despite his lack of expertise, this 17-year-old boy takes this loan from his newfound business partner and goes about his business venture. Situated in Bridgeport, Connecticut, he starts a restaurant named Pete's Super Submarines. In an effort to garner attention, he even distributes flyers throughout the local area. However, things do not turn out the way he expected. For many people, this point might signify the conclusion of his story. However, this wasn't the path Fred and Peter chose. Instead, the two decided to take a bold step: geographical expansion. Despite the evident struggles of their primary establishment in Bridgeport, Fred and Peter decide to establish another restaurant. This time, they also decide to rebrand, adopting the much more straightforward name, Subway. They move on to their new path, with a new ambitious goal: to launch 32 Subway franchises within the next decade. While sounding impossible, this shift in approach turns out to be profitable. Fueled by this profit, they decide to continue expanding their operations by investing in additional locations and executing advertising campaigns. Nevertheless, their expansion efforts also come with a set of challenges. Each of their restaurants start to show notable inconsistencies in appearance and operations, which means that the experience could greatly vary depending on which specific Subway restaurant one visited. Another problem that now stands in front of them is their aim to establish 32 restaurants within a decade. Time is passing quickly, and they see only 2 years to achieve this target, with just half that number in operation. In front of the fast-paced ticking clock, it's clear that reaching this goal at the current pace would be impossible. However, a new breakthrough comes when Fred comes up with an innovative solution. A solution capable of addressing both of these problems, while also enhancing their revenue stream. This groundbreaking idea would eventually reshape Subway into the leading fast food franchise globally. Fred proposes, rather than directly assuming ownership and control of upcoming Subway establishments, what if they opted for a franchise model? In this scenario, they would empower entrepreneurs to operate their own Subway restaurants while adhering strictly to the established format and menu that had proven successful across their initial 16 branches. While this sounds great, this means that at this point, Peter's involvement in the business will diminish even further. He's now just a passive partner, assuming a more reserved role with no office at Subway headquarters. It's now 1974, and they've successfully opened 15 franchises within that year. Fast forward to 6 years later, they now have achieved a nationwide presence, launching 200 outlets throughout the United States, with the addition of 100 more locations in the subsequent year. This also marks the point when Subway franchises are considered more affordable options than McDonald's, Taco Bell, or Wendy's. While this franchise model is proving to be highly successful for Fred and Peter, they have no idea how much chaos is unleashing near them in their other franchises. A significant number of franchise owners now start to voice their allegations against the company, accusing it of engaging in fraudulent activities or employing cunning tactics to trap them in harsh and unfavorable contracts. The year is 1998, and a considerable 40% of Subway franchise owners have come forward to express that their financial situation is barely sustainable. They blame it on Fred's enthusiastic drive to expand Subway and open more and more outlets. However, a dominant pattern was the establishment of multiple Subway restaurants within a confined geographic zone. Moreover, the sales team at Subway, responsible for recruiting new franchise owners, appeared to employ a focused strategy in their sales effort. According to a former high-ranking Subway executive, around 30 to 50% of franchises were immigrants, and many faced challenges in comprehending the difficult contracts due to the contracts being in their second or third language. This reveals that the agreements gave Fred the authority to seize any franchise along with its assets. Additionally, he possessed the capability to establish franchises in close proximity, raising competition among the restaurants for customers. Moreover, he made sure franchise owners were prohibited from engaging with the media under the terms of these agreements. Even under such harsh agreements, a few Subway owners managed to defy these regulations and disclose that Subway's slogan, "Eat Fresh," is also inaccurate because the mandatory ingredients in their sandwiches are delivered just once a week. Now that's concerning. Despite facing discontent from certain franchisees and amidst so many controversies, Fred decides to continue with his strategy of global expansion along with his new move. However, regrettably, this new step would eventually evolve into a massive scandal. It's the early 2000s now. Subway has taken a pivotal marketing approach that will distinguish it from other fast food chains. The central focus on this strategy is conveying the notion that its sandwiches are relatively health conscious, with customers having the liberty to create their sandwiches by personally selecting ingredients in front of them. This strategy proves to be victorious when a customer named Jared Fogle comes forward, claiming that he has shed 245 pounds by consuming 2 Subway sandwiches daily. This narrative not only proves excellent in terms of marketing, but also ends up making Jared Fogle the face of Subway, epitomizing the Subway diet. This continues until a dark secret of Fogle comes into the light and changes everything. In a turn of events, Fogle's house is raided, and what police find is really disturbing: explicit content and messages involving young children. He's subsequently convicted of child exploitation-related charges, tarnishing Subway's image due to his association with the brand. Seeing this, Subway abruptly ends its partnership with Fogle and denies having any prior knowledge of the situation. It's truly a brand's worst nightmare to have its spokesperson associated with something so terrible. However, it has come to light that Fogle's ex-wife actually filed a lawsuit against Subway, alleging the company had been informed about Fogle's inappropriate interest in children. Despite this, they took no action due to the substantial revenue generated from his advertisements. Moreover, Subway's issues don't end there, as their controversies extend to their health claims as well. Amidst all this, a customer posts a photo on social media, showing that a foot-long sandwich from Subway was actually only 11 inches long. This starts a chain of customer complaints and a lawsuit accusing Subway of false advertising. It also faces criticism for the ingredients used in its food. It revealed that the company uses a chemical called azodicarbonamide in Subway's bread, which is also used in yoga mats. Not only this, a lawsuit is filed against Subway claiming that the tuna used in their sandwiches does not actually contain real tuna. Subway, however, continues to deny these claims by saying that their tuna is indeed real tuna. All in all, over the years, some customers have expressed concerns about the quality and freshness of ingredients at Subway locations. Complaints have ranged from stale bread to inconsistent vegetable quality. Some critics have raised concern about Subway's advertising practices, including claims that certain ingredients are healthier than they actually are. While Subway did settle the lawsuit, these incidents have certainly tarnished its reputation, and it won't be an exaggeration to say that Subway is dying. In essence, Subway still appears to be experiencing a downturn. Despite this, it remains an immensely large fast food chain, generating substantial profits, and it also has an opportunity to reverse the trend. However, the upcoming phase of Subway's future remains uncertain. But what is certain from this narrative is that by studying Subway's decline, businesses can gain insight into what pitfalls to avoid and what strategies to adopt to ensure sustained growth and success.